Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm about to pull off for a late visit to the flea market, and I think I'm testing out a microphone. I'm either using the microphone that I'm wearing or some kind of wireless lavalier thing. And if not, then it's just picking up the regular signal. But either way, I did test it, so I know that you're going to be able to hear this when you watch this video. So I know there's already quite a bit of traffic because it's late. It's quite late, but that's okay because the purpose of this trip is a little bit different than usual. Yeah, usually I'm leaving out 2 hours earlier or so to shop around and see what I can find. But today, just taking a ride and actually waiting for a package to arrive so I can take it to a friend. Other than that, it is the 1st of December, so it's no telling when you might be seeing this video. So I may as well tell you the year. It's the 1st of December of 2024. Remember 2024? Well, yeah, we're still in it. It's 1 month ago. A lot has happened, and it's hard to know where to start, right? I mean, I certainly won't talk about political things because that's not worth the effort for real. And there's plenty of other people who are talking about things going on politically that are uh, way more articulate and way more insightful in many ways. So I yield to them. But what I will say is that we're living in an age where we still need to really look at the issues of who am I, right? Not so much um, in terms of bodily or physical attributes. A lot of that you are likely to be able to pick up just from seeing my face and hearing my voice. You can get an idea that I'm probably an urban person, likely someone who may have received a little bit of education and things like that. Certainly black, loving it. I don't feel like I need to be in any type of existential crisis because I was born into one, as it turns out. These are things that you learn as you become a young adult and then an older adult. And you're like, whoa, I've already been in an existential crisis, have experienced collective trauma and personal trauma, and by the grace of God, have survived uh, all of it. Or at least I think I have. Maybe this is indicating uh, that I either have or have not, but you be the judge. I just like to think that there is no reason to really worry beyond what's right in front of me. And right now, there's a car right in front of me with a red light there. So as long as I do what I'm supposed to do and obey applicable traffic laws, then I should be okay. And I'll certainly do that even if this phone falls down or turns off or anything else. Um, I've tried to train my mind so that what matters is safe driving. Okay. And hopefully you do the same, particularly if you're watching this video. I, I don't think I'll say anything that'll make you have to, you know, pull over or have problems with your steering or anything like that, or even spit out your coffee if you're drinking that. No, this is just kind of an ordinary. This is video one, so in a way, uh, I may not say anything at all that's profound, but rather just make sure that this thing works, and also give you an opportunity to meet me, because being the relatively shy person that I am, I I should have been on either this or other platforms a long time ago. Not certainly not because of anything special that I'm able to do or even say. But guess what? What happens is that it's the Lord, it's the God of heaven. Um, Goes by many names, but if you believe, you know who I'm talking about, and there's only one, regardless of the name, who can speak through me and do through me, and has been for as long as I can remember. I mean, and it has been a long time now because I'm getting on in years, as you can see. But here we are, and if you are in search of insight, I may be able to help with that. Not because of something that I have learned, researched, and studied, even though I have done lots of learning, researching, and studying over many years, but because, in a very interesting way, I've noticed that the God of heaven speaks through me sometimes and may have something to share with you even today. So let's see. Let's see what we have for today. Heading on down the road, and it's not as much traffic going this way as I thought. I actually have the road in front to myself, at least for a quarter mile or so, which is interesting. The insight for today, I'm going to say, is a new beginning, making a new beginning. And oftentimes people wait until 1 month from today, which is January 1st, to think about new beginnings, or even to speak them, possibly speak them into existence, or to make a resolution, right? That's what they call those New Year's resolutions. Well, it's probably a better idea to daily, resolve daily to do that which your mind and heart tells you is best for you. So let's unpack that a little bit. To do daily, to resolve daily, to either begin or continue or to improve upon what it is that your mind and heart tells you is best for you. And of course, if you are a family person, member of a family, whether husband, wife, daughter, or son, cousin, niece, nephew, however the case may be, right? You it's a good idea to include what is best for how things that you are resolving to do can improve their lives as well. But make sure that it does in your life what you needed to do in your life. It's so important to, because there are people, and I guess consider myself one of them, that will prioritize others, and believe me, that's a good thing, honorable, noble, and so forth. Prioritizing the welfare and benefit of others, loved ones, sometimes even strangers, or what have you. But please understand that you must maintain yourself as well. And in some cases, you must prioritize taking care of yourself, because in order to do what you already are doing for others, in order to maintain that, then you have to certainly maintain yourself. You have to, of course, be physically healthy, have a certain well-being about yourself physically, and your mental health is equally important. The mental side is invisible, it's unknown, somewhat mysterious, and yet very, very crucial to everything that you could possibly do. Everything you could possibly do today. Everything that you could possibly do tomorrow. And in preparation for tomorrow. So, like I said, I want to unpack a little bit of this idea of making the resolution to begin or continue or improve upon your well-being, physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being. Now, when you say spiritual well-being, I'm sure, like a lot of people, you pass that off as, yeah, whatever that means, kind of not necessarily, maybe interested, but not necessarily that um, concerned, if you will, is the right word, or curious about what that part means. Now, mentally, yeah, we want to know what that means because we want to have mental well-being. Physically, definitely want to know what that means. It means not having a cold or flu or COVID or God knows what going on, some type of a diagnosis um, that you haven't been told about yet, or I haven't been told about yet for myself. Yeah, but what is our diagnosis? What is our spiritual diagnosis? I mean, have you thought about that, like at any time recently, at any time in, say, the past 6 months, 12 months? That's a long period of time. I mean, in January of this year, can you remember what kind of things you had on your mind, on your heart? Some things you were trying to work out. Maybe you were, uh, waiting um, with anticipation for your tax return. I was, and I didn't get one. So they told me I broke even. They wanted me to feel good about the fact that I didn't owe extra after having paid through the nose uh, in taxes in all of the previous year, and this only to find out when I filed that it's like, okay, you're all right. You don't owe us anything more. As far as getting something back, no, nada, yet. Okay, so if you had that experience, then you know that kind of feeling. I mean, you kind of just have to wave it off and keep it moving. But by the same token, it's like, come on. Um, I was hoping that I have that little spare change to do something else with. But moving right along, that was earlier this year, right? So now we're near the end of the year. We're going to come up to yet another, tax season. So there's that. So there's the financial thing, which is more of the physical, the mundane, because we all have those things to attend to. Absolutely have bills to pay. Absolutely have obligations to meet, right? Things like that. Um, but existentially, remember I mentioned that word? I think I mentioned that word about 10 minutes ago. Existentially, it's so necessary that you understand where you are in the grand scheme of things. So, what does that mean? Where are you in terms of the fact that you exist, and you certainly exist beyond the realm of just your physical body? For those of you who have physical challenges, and we all have some physical challenges or another, you kind of take comfort in the fact that there is no that the physical situation is not permanent or infinite. I mean, we just know that it's not, right? If we get to live 75, 85, or 100 years, 90 is a good number. Okay, then, but that's the physical realm. But do you believe that you exist beyond the time of life that you get to spend on this plane, in this level, in this body? What do you think? Something tells me that you probably do have some belief because you're still listening to me. And it's like, well, maybe this guy's going to talk about something more metaphysical or spiritual at some point. And I am. I'm going to talk about the fact that we do have a divine purpose in life, and um, the body is more like a seed pod, that we are planted in. When I say we, I mean as an individual, as a person of character and personality, uh, of whatever level of mental acuity you may possess. Those are all invisible things that are implanted, that are seated in the physical body that you're roaming around in. I mean, it's you can use the metaphor of stuff that you put in your house or your apartment or whatever the case may be. I mean, there is stuff, and that stuff has some, you shop for it, you picked it up, you bought it, it was given to you, and you liked it, or whatever it may be, and so now you've set up your house, your space, uh, with those things as accoutrements or decorations or whatever the case may be. Uh, so they reflect in some way, shape, or form your character or your interests. They do that. Now, this seems to be, I seem to be moving very slow, and you're probably wanting me to really get to the point. But all I can tell you is to hang in there because uh, unless you already know the point that I'm getting at, I think this will really be a benefit to you. And to kind of fast forward to that point, and then I'll embellish a little bit more. The point is that you are an eternal being. We are eternal beings. I am an eternal being. And I'm here at this time on this 1st of December, 2024, because this is where the God of creation planted me to be and assigned me to like recite this, um, insight, if you will, or this idea, to share this idea with you in case it hasn't been shared with you before, or it was shared a long time ago and you forgot about it, whatever the case may be. Please remember that as you plan and as you prepare and as you think about, well, how do I start 2025? Actually, how do I even get through December 2024? Just take inventory. Um, just like you do when it comes to the physical realm. I mean, a lot of people pay very close attention to the physical. I mean, they might be getting their car washed and cleaning up their apartment, all good things, by the way, making sure that they're getting the bills in, whatever, the usual. But understand that that's one really outer layer of your life. That's very much an outer layer of your life. What about those inner layers? How do you keep those inner layers properly attended and properly cared for? Because that's essential for not only temporary survival, if you will, and thriving for those who are really ambitious, but understand that you really must also be preparing for the eternal, preparing for whatever is next. And that could mean any number of things, right? It could be if you are someone who uh, really embraces the idea of reincarnation and, okay, this, once this life is over, I'm going to, be starting again, as a new being or a new human, or I'm going to be at least interacting with uh, the people that in my lineage, let's say, who come after me. I definitely believe that I'm going to have the opportunity to interact with, people that are on the far side of this 21st century, even if I'm doing it, you know, as an incorporeal being, like, out of the body, no longer having this physical body, but still kind of uh, being connected in a way with with those who are walking the earth. Okay, even that, or if I just float away and I'm in another part of the universe, because of course in the spirit body I should have a certain amount of freedom. But guess what? The freedom that you have and that we have, that I have, really has to do with how much I have grown, how much I have developed. So I'm going to focus on that word development. I had a friend who always talked about uh, development. There's training, and there is education, and then there's development. And development, uh, depending on how you connote the word, really implies progress. It implies growth. It implies something that, looking at the calendar, sorry for that noise, it's a turn signal, but looking at the calendar, looking at time, which of course is very important in this physical realm, I think a lot less important in other realms, especially spiritually. But looking at time, development is really, really important. What is it that, if you look at this year, if you look at the last several years, what is it that I have uh, become? Have I become something beyond what I was in terms of my personality? In terms of my personality, if I wasn't a someone who I considered a good person, have I become that, or have I become better? Have I become less anxious, less worrisome, less vengeful, vindictive? Have I improved in terms of my perspective on life? I just think that those things are very important. I know the lighting has changed because now I'm under a bridge of some kind, under an overpass is what it is. Now that I've gotten to the flea market, and this has been really long, and if you've stayed with me, um, I do not want to disappoint you. What I want you to do is continue to look for my videos. I'm Andre. I didn't even say that at the beginning, but anyway, that's who I am, and I'm going to continue to do this. Uh, Believe me, not because of me, but because of, again, the God of creation. Even if you don't know that much about him, I'm going to share a lot more about him with you over the course of the coming perhaps days, weeks, and months ahead, so that you can have, and of course, there's all these thousands of other videos out there and people to check out. But I'm going to share more with you, and I just believe. And at this point, you're going to have to just take my word for it. I believe that you're going to get something out of it, not because of me by any stretch, but because of who has decided to speak through me to you. All right. So I'll talk with you soon. I'm ready to look around and do what I normally do at one of these flea markets. All right. Take care.